Today we're again working on my 64 Fairlane. I got the steering column out of it. I'm going to do some modifications to it. So the first thing I want to do is I took the couple screws out of here so you can slide this sleeve out of here. But first I'm going to cut this rag joint off right at the shaft flush. And then I went to Mustang Steve.com. They got me one of these bearings, 3/4 for the shaft. I forget what the OD of this was, but this is the part number right here, SSBK-1. Comes with this little retainer collar as well. So what I'm going to do is cut this off, like I said, slide this out. This bearing will press into there. I think I'm going to cut it back a little bit too. We'll decide on how much I'm going to cut back. Kind of want a little bit more of the shaft. We'll see once I put it in there how much of the shaft sticks out, because I got this RaceCraft Foxbody Mustang steering shaft that I'm using. That's the rack end. Flaming Rivers manual rack, splined to 3/4 shaft. The nice thing about it is the other side takes a 3/4 ID shaft. This will slip right on that shaft. The OD of it is 3/4 inch. So this will slip right on there, and then I'll just drill a hole through it and put a bolt through it. And this is the kit that's for a Foxbody Mustang with an aftermarket steering column. I don't know if this box has a part number. I don't think it does. I can list the part number in the description below so that you guys know what it is. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me get to it. All right, so I got that cut off. Let's see what's inside of here. Jesus, look at that thing. I don't know if I need this part. Bearing should support that. So if I cut it down a little bit, I'll probably cut it just on the other side of that, straight through. I think that'll be perfect. The bearing actually fits on the shaft pretty good. Got a little bit of play. Once you push this all the way in the hole, then you push the collar and clamp it. So I should really gauge on how much I really want to cut off of this so that I can fit the other shaft. This is also solid. The inner steering shaft piece is solid steel. So it might be a little fun trying to drill that hole all the way through there, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not really gonna video all of it, guys. I'll just kind of video it in some steps. I've been trying to cut my videos down so they're not so long. I mean, you get the idea. I'll take a measurement, figure out how much I cut off, if that helps, and then go from there. So one way I've always found to make a pretty good straight line around a round tube or shaft is to use a zip tie. As you kind of pull it around, it kind of centers itself. And I just mark it with a marker. Let's get it out of the way and we'll see how much. Looks like right at 1 inch is what I'm cutting off of it. I got the other piece mocked up on here. So once this is at that cut line about 1 inch, should have plenty of room to fit that collar and everything on there. Get all this out of the way, we'll get this cut. And there it is. Basic idea, cut 1 inch off. Sleeve slides right in there nicely. There is like a little bit of play, just a tiny bit, but I think what I might do is TIG weld a couple sections on there to hold this thing in place. It is steel. You got the collar on there, steering shaft. The next part that I'll have to do is mock this back up in the car, get the wheel straight where I want it, figure out which way I got to bore a hole through here, put a bolt in it, and I don't know which way I want the shaft, like that or like that before I bolt it. I don't know that it really matters. So that'll be the next part. Plus I'm going to clean this up. I want to paint it. Could use some paint. Maybe I'll just paint it from here down. It's got basically a lightweight shaft now. I took all this out of there. It's pretty heavy. Got the shaft all done. Kind of just loosely bolted in there for now. I just wanted to show you guys how it turned out. Plenty of clearance to the header. Turned out pretty good. There's some other few things that I did. I modified the factory. There's like a firewall plate. You can't really see it, but I had to cut it down. It's around the steering shaft there, around the steering column. It like clamps at the bottom of the column in place, and that's what holds it from moving around. But because I have that modern drivetrain's clutch, hydraulic clutch setup, that plate bolts onto the firewall, so I had to adjust some of that, but it wasn't too big of a deal. I'll bring the car down and show you guys the top. There it is from the top. Nice shot down to the rack there. Plenty of clearance around the header. I mean, it's hard to see, but there's a lot. I can put my hand in there. Again, that's the RaceCraft Foxbody to aftermarket steering column, steering shaft kit that RaceCraft sells. Aftermarket steering column on a Foxbody uses a 3/4 OD shaft, which the Fairlane just happened to have exactly the same size, 3/4 OD shaft. So all I did was cut the rag joint off, clean up the end. This slipped right over the shaft, drill a hole through it. It worked out perfectly. This is that clamshell I was talking about right here. It's actually two pieces and it clamps together. I have it loose right now so I can move the steering column around and get the shaft on, but eventually I'm just gonna bolt this in through the firewall, and then when I paint the firewall and everything, I'll just paint all this stuff to match so it blends right in. I'll seal it up too. But that's it. Steering shaft done. Let's do some steering. It's a quick ratio manual rack. Again, I have the steering wheel a little loose right now, but steers nice. Feels good. One and a half turns to the right. One. Oh, it goes just about 3/4, so I need to adjust that a little bit, but it's close. Well guys, that's it for this video. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter, so I'm not showing everything, but I mean, you get the idea on lining up steering shaft and drilling a hole in it and all that stuff. So that's it for this video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. Comment in my videos, and I will read every comment and reply the best I can. You guys have a good one.